Hello, this is a star battle puzzle. I supply these puzzles to the New York Times where they are published as To Not Touch in the print edition, Monday through Saturday. This is the answer to this puzzle. I'm showing you the answer so I can explain the rules. There's 2 stars that we're going to place in every row, column, every bolded shape. And the stars are not allowed to get very close to each other. They can't touch, hence the name To Not Touch. They can't be adjacent, even diagonally, to each other. Let's solve one of these. I'm intentionally solving a slightly more difficult puzzle. This is from my Diabolical series, Volume 2, Book 20, Puzzle number 3. Looking at this puzzle, the first thing I'm going to do is look for very small shapes. This is the smallest shape, and the stars are forced here. If I were to place a star in the center, I wouldn't be able to place stars on either side. So the center must be cleared, and that forces stars on the side. Having placed those stars, we can clear all the squares around each star. And since the row is finished, we can clear the row. Now let's go around and look at the other small shapes. Here's another small shape. When you encounter this shape, you can clear this square in the center because it would crowd out the other squares and prevent you from placing a second star. That forces a star down here. We can clear its neighbors. And then these 2 squares are going to have a star. They form a domino shape. Whenever you have a domino shape, you can clear the squares on either side of it because placing a star in any of these squares on either side would prevent you from placing a star inside the domino. Here's another smallish shape. I can clear these 2 corner squares. This corner square would crowd out all those squares, preventing me from placing 2 stars inside. Same situation here. Similar situation down here. This placing a star here would crowd out all these and prevent me from placing 2 stars here. I can see in this shape 1 star is going to go in this domino and 1 star is going to go down here. We can clear the squares on the opposite side of the domino, and I can clear this square, which would otherwise crowd out this shape. I can see up here that we're going to get a star inside this 4 square, another star here. And looking at these 2 columns on the right, I can see that because there's 2 columns and each column takes 2 stars, that's 4 stars total. And we've accounted for 3 of the stars. 1, 2, 3. So the remaining star is going to go somewhere here. But this shape needs 2 stars, so that forces a star out here, outside of the 2 columns. Okay, and now we've already looked at this shape. We're going to have a star here in this domino. We've got these 2 stars. We can eliminate, that's 4 stars, so for these 2 columns we can eliminate these bottom 2 squares. That means for this shape, both stars are going to go right here, and we can eliminate everything else in the row, since the row only takes 2 stars. Now we have a domino where a star is forced, so we can eliminate the squares on the opposite side. These form 2 dominoes, so we can eliminate the squares on the opposite side. I missed it earlier, but this shape only has 1 place left where we can place a star. Now we can clear out that column and this row. Now in this column, a star is forced here. That reduces this down to that simple L shape we've seen before, giving us a forced star. Another star forced here in this domino. Another star forced here in this domino. This domino up here now has a star forced in it inside this shape, so we can clear that neighbor. And now in this shape, we've got a forced star. We can finish out that column, finish out this column, this star's neighbors. That forces a star here, and then we can finish out that column. I have a star up here on the top row. I know that in this shape, at least one star must go right here, so that eliminates this square. And we've got a star there. That's just going to be one star because we've already got a star there. So we force a star down here. That column is finished. Now in the column to the right, there's only 2 remaining squares. The top row is finished. And now we've got a 3-square run with forced stars. The neighbor of this star can be cleared. That forces a star here. Now in this row, the star is forced there. This row has already been completed, and this is our final star. And that completes the puzzle. Hope you enjoy these. See you next time.